So, this is like a way of life for me, but it is also because I got to a point that I enjoy what I'm doing, but because things were so difficult with the baby and dealing with him, that it became this is my break. That was my break for me, and that's what started to give me more energy. And as much as I'm exhausted, and with Savannah now getting up, she's never slept through the night. She's never gonna sleep through the night. I don't expect her to ever sleep through the night, and I'm probably never in my life going to get sleep again, ever. It's gone. It's just gone. And I'm exhausted, and I don't know. So I don't have an answer for how I do it, but doing the little things like day in and day out, like I enjoy being busy, but like my treatment is my workouts, is my training, is that's what gives me energy back, and that's my motivation. But if I didn't have the kids, I don't think I would have been as motivated to do something different. And I think that's where it's different for everyone. Like everyone has to have almost like, the kids kind of like threw me into this. Or made it more so than it would have been, I think. So I don't know. There is no good answer, but the best thing for me is to try and take as much time. Andrew and I, like, he's so busy, I'm so busy, like we don't really see each other, even though he works from home and I work from home. We're constantly running around, we're doing stuff, like things have to be done around the house. I mean, there's 10,000 loads of laundry, and there's dishes, and there's cleaning, and he's working, he's constantly on calls. I have trainings, I have classes, so it's, and then the kids, Christian has to be, taken into school, coming back, Savannah, nap time, and everything is around everyone else's schedule. So the only time really that we get with each other is Friday and Saturday night, and I think that's the time that we really, like, that's what's important for us. That we don't make plans. We don't make plans with anybody else, or we try not to, unless it's, that's a time that we kind of get to like reconnect and sit back and be like, okay, well, this is how our week was. This is what we're working on. Like, how can we?
Hey, you're supposed to be asleep. Go to sleep. You're so cute, dude. Look at you.
That's me.
You're hanging with the grown-ups. Are you? Look at you, grown-up.
Doing the laundry.
You gonna help mommy with the laundry? I don't even have my work phone with me out here. I have my other phone, and it's a Friday night. I know I need to bring it back and reconnect, and just connect on a level that we didn't get to this during the week. Not because we didn't want to, but because our lives, between both of our work, with her training and me working, being on the phone. But it's not always about me being on the phone. It's where my head's at during the week, and servicing, and trying to find new clients. I'm constantly thinking, like, what do I have to do? So now's the time where we're really looking to be present, which is really what we look forward to. Working as hard as I can to provide the life for him in the future, college, etc. And then on the flip side, I'm also worrying about spending quality time with him and playing with him. Because I know those moments right now are moments that I'm never gonna get again. So it's such a battle, because it's a balance.
I think that's hard for you,
It's
though,
very
to see that.
it's very hard for me to see, and sometimes when I'm working too much, I'm like, damn, like, he's like, Daddy, will you play with me? And I'm like, yeah, I will. And then the next thing I know it, I'm like, shit, it's like 7:30 and I'm still working, and I have to get this done, and someone's to play with me. So then, but somehow I know in my head, like, I'm gonna make it up for him some way, whether it's like, I'm gonna take him with me out to, I don't know, park on the weekend, and I know somehow in some way I'll make it up for him. So it does weigh on me too, because it's like it's a balancing, and I'm constantly working on it as I continue in my career, which I think is it's a work in progress.
But I think everyone can relate to that, because most of us, the majority of us, work, right? And regardless of how many hours that you work, like, you still want, everybody, I would think, wants to put their kids first, and they want to give them that life, that they want to give them everything that they may not have had as a kid. Like, I had a wonderful childhood. Andrew had a great childhood. But there's still things that we're like, okay, we want to do better. We want to do more for our kids. We want to do everything that we can. But then again, on the flip side, we're thinking about, okay, so how are we going to provide for them? How are we going to make sure we can do that for them? And I know, for you, like, financially, you're the backbone of our family, and you're the one who's able to provide the majority of that. So I know that a lot of that pressure falls on you, but I think a lot of people can relate to, how do I balance working all these hours and not missing time with my kid, And we are very, very fortunate that we don't have to put our kids in daycare, that we don't have to, work that 9 to 5. I mean, most of the time we're working past those hours or different hours or whatever it is, but we kind of make that work in our life, and we're able to do that.
Yeah.
But it's just, it is definitely a struggle. It's not easy. I mean, there's certain things, and especially with Savannah being so young, I am with her 85% of the time. Also, I mean, because I'm mommy, and I am her primary caregiver right now, and he can't do the physical things that I can do.
I can feed her.
You can't feed her. You're going to continue my
give
train
you
of
a
thought.
boost. I was going to boost you up. So, yeah, I mean, part of, how we make it work is, like, Amy takes complete control, like, of the kids. And, with Savannah, it's like, literally this baby is up like 6 times a night, and it's crazy. And
I laugh, but it's
I would
exhausting.
not be able to do it. Literally, I go to bed sometimes 9:30, 10, and she's up, she's crying for like 10 minutes. I'm like, ugh.
He does.
And then, like,
complains.
she's up literally 6 times a night.
And I get up the next day,
and then she
I'm
gets
like,
up the next day and does 2 workouts and crushes in. He's got a 6-pack, and I'm like, yeah.
it's
I'm gonna
different,
try.
though.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get this workout in, but yeah, no.
It's different.
No, so we make it work.
We are lucky enough that we figured out, I feel like we figured out a pretty good routine. I mean, there are things that I wish would change, mainly that are things that are out of our control, like Savannah sleeping. I would love to be able to sleep more, and then I feel like I would be a lot more effective during the day. But, I mean, I think for the majority, like, for the most part, I think I do as much as I can, and he does as much as he can. But I feel like we have a pretty good routine down, and I'm lucky enough, especially with him working from home, even before COVID happened, with him working from home, especially when Savannah was born, and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to deal with getting him ready for school in the morning. How am I going to get him to school? I mean, she was just born right when he first started school. So he, we figured out this way that I'm so exhausted in the morning. He gets Christian up, he gets him dressed, he brushes his teeth, all while he's still working. I mean, he can, luckily, he's got a headset, he can take calls, and he can do what he's doing.
Literally, sometimes.
He's wiping
And
the butt.
see, sometimes you'll laugh at this,
Seriously.
right? So I get a call, and it's, this is during COVID, so people are a little bit more understanding. And I get a call, and I remember I'm in the bathroom, and I know I'm expecting an important call, so I'm like, hello, this is Andrew. And then, like, right when I say that, Christian says, wipe my butt. And, like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, no, like, I totally understand. So, like, I don't know. We just juggle and we make
It's
things.
real life.
We really make things work. And people really understand that, especially with COVID. Like, you know, anytime the baby, you know, somebody's like, oh, it sounds like your baby, you know, you have your baby, and it's like, it brings up just genuine conversations. I'm able to connect. Like today, I was talking to a client, he has a 5-month-old and a 4.5-year-old, and, you know, it's exactly like us. Like, we have not too much of a difference between a 5-month-old and a 13-month-old, a little bit, but, you know, just able to relate
Different struggles
to
but yeah.
people. And I think working from home has helped with that.
I think it makes you stronger. It's that mental toughness that, you know, you're like ready for anything. I mean, you've got the kids on top of you, you're trying to get work done. It's like, how do you figure out how to juggle all these things? You ask me, like, how do I do this stuff? I don't know. You do it. You know, you adapt to whatever is in front of you. Like, we don't have a choice. What are we just going to tell the kids? No, I'm sorry, go get your own food. You're a baby. Like, what do you do? How do things get clean? Like, what are we just going to, you know, sit in a messy house? Like, no, you get up and you just do it. You have to find something within yourself to be able to make it worth it. You know, or you can't just sit back, or nothing's ever going to get done. You're never going to be successful. You're never even going to get anything accomplished if you don't try. And that's what we have to do. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times a day I feel like I get knocked down over and over and over again. And I think that's what makes, like, my personal trainings more effective for me, is because I'm so used to my gosh, do you remember, like, 6 months ago, I couldn't even get a workout in because Savannah would wake me up, or she would wake up, I would put her down for her nap and she'd wake up 10 minutes later or 5 minutes later, and it was just back and forth and back and forth. And I feel like that kind of prepped me for the mentality that I needed to get through my day.